again, man, it is the good brothers of Wooisms, the brothers of El Jefe House of Cigars. Shout out to the hostess with the mostest, Levi Sims, who's not with us today. And we collectively are bringing you guys whiskey and sticks after dark. Excuse me if my words sound a little slurred. Once again, we are drinking on these blue raspberry berry lemon drops.
Where the raspberry come in?
I don't know.
Hey, it
sounded good. Just go with it. Just go with it.
Almost like raspberry. No, any of those ones.
The blueberry lemon drop. Yeah. Man, so once again, shout out to our good brother Tim Hill of allowing us to be here at his fine Airbnb establishment here at 854 Chin Street.
Yep.
In the heart of Africa Town. If you don't know what Africa Town is, Google it. You'll get you some well-known or well-unknown, need-to-know black history facts of the Port City. Alright? Also, shout out to Terry Pritchard of Miss Terry Events. She bought us a great spread today. I ain't had no deep fried chicken.
Man.
Boy, fish tastes like it came out the grease that be at the Mardi Gras. Man, well y'all know y'all be out there at Mardi Gras all day with your family drinking and somebody say that fish up and y'all run, y'all left because y'all know. Let me get two pieces of light bread.
Yeah, we used to sit up down at McDonald's back in the day.
See, McDonald's.
Yeah.
They don't even go in there and buy no cheeseburger. They sit there in front of McDonald's. Boy, bring me 2 pieces of that light bread. Yes, sir. Did I miss any shout outs? No shout outs. All right. Before we dive into our next topic, turn it over to Big Brother Mark. Let him do a presentation or start us off with this presentation for our guests.
All right, for our guests, for our Father's Day special, we have a couple of gifts for you guys for El Jefe House of Cigars and also from Wooism Podcast. And collectively, we are Whiskey and Sticks After Dark. So I'm going to pass this to y'all.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Oh, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
And we appreciate you guys.
I truly appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Spending that time.
I really appreciate
Thank y'all so much, man. Truly appreciate that, too.
We appreciate y'all for coming through. That's a spiffy
wow.
box. I don't even know how that open.
That's nice.
First lip, there you go.
That's all the team, man. Look at that.
So yeah, you got 2 of our house cigars in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you got a pint of your.
Yeah, okay, then.
Some Crown Black.
Yeah,
We can handle that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't even smoke, but I'm going to sit out on my patio in the courtyard at the crib. Sometime during the summer when my brothers-in-law come down, they love to do cigars.
Well, once again, we appreciate both of you gentlemen coming in, just sitting down with us, talking to us today on our inaugural episode of our Father's Day special event for Whiskey and Sticks. So, hope you gentlemen enjoy your gifts. So, imagine when you post some milk up, just
That's right.
give me a shout out on Facebook.
I'll definitely do that. Tell you that I have just milked the cow.
There it is. Run it.
Man, look, I can't wait to retire and live a good life with Son Major because he sees any and every post on Facebook, and he was there, and it's not photoshopped or he ain't been spammed because he gonna put an orange and a green heart up there. So that's how you know Son Major was there on the post. But since we are talking and it was a very important, but it is a very important month, and not too many people are aware. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and like we stated earlier, this is something that in the black community, especially amongst black men, we don't know how to cope or share or speak on mental health and mental illnesses. So just want to talk to you gentlemen briefly to see, you know, if you want to share any, like, you know, mental health things that you're going through, situations, or if you don't want to speak on any like type of situations that may be personal, how do you cope with your mental health? I know, like, with me, I'll start, y'all know I'm very transparent with things that go on in my life, and you know, the end of 2025 was very difficult for me. It started out me taking care of my mother, trying to help her back to health. It looked like she was getting better, then her health took a certain turn, and you know, was there to see her final days. So, and you know, during that time, it was very difficult for me, because not only was it difficult of me being there for my mom and going through that, I still had to show up as dad, as husband, as big brother. And I think it was a conversation me and Sergeant Major had. And this was one time he wasn't aware, you know, that my mom had got sick and that she passed away. And I was just having a conversation when we talked, and it was months since me and Sergeant Major had talked. And he told me, and it stuck with me, he said, "Woo, you have to appreciate the good things that you're going through, and you got to celebrate that, because that's what your mother will want." Because at that time, it was going on. She got sick maybe early September. So we had a lot going on. I had just received an award from UAB, 25 for 25 that year. November, I had received an award, Omega Man of the Year. My daughter's senior night. It was just so much going on, and I couldn't find myself to celebrate that, because I was going through that over there with my mom. Until after I had that conversation with Sergeant Major, and I had to start taking time for myself. Am I over it? No, I'm not over it. Here we are in the month of June. It's a process.
Yeah.
But one thing that has helped me has been leaning on my closest friends, because I don't have that family aspect. You know, like Mark, how y'all family huge. You know, Jamani, you got a huge family. You know what I'm saying? Jay got a huge family. Like, Jay family is what I wish I had when we was growing up, cause his family was huge. Like, when you look at Soul Food and that Sunday dinner, minus Big Mama burning her own, that was Jay family. And I used to try to sneak in one of their cars after church and go, just 'cause I know they're gonna have some good food that Sunday. But I don't have that with my family. So to lean on my true friend, my closest friend, like that helped me through being able to talk about it. Because what I found, I was like, man, I can't talk about what I'm going through, because I don't want to be a burden on nobody else. Until I was like, let me get out my way.
Yeah.
And it was Sean. He was just like, he came over to the house. You see him, he was a big, hefty guy. And he was like, come here, brother. And he grabbed me and he embraced me. I didn't know if I should cry or just
Kiss him.
warm, just gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Like, man, but you know, I laugh about it now, but those are the type of things, man, that really helped me through this process. Is an ongoing process, yes. And I still find myself, man, sometimes I get into that little thug tip,
that's
roll
right.
down my eye, but you know.
I think, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Everybody in life grieve different. Everybody grieve different, right? And I got chills going on my body right now, man, because it's now that you're giving your story, I went through the same thing, right? What helped me go through that? What helped? Because here's the thing, y'all. I don't know what your spiritual belief may be, right? And I ain't perfect. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not perfect. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a friend. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle, but I'm not perfect, right? So I don't know what your Christian background may be. But at the end of the day, we all know after life where we want to go, right? Whether you want to go down or up, right? So a lot of times our parents, our grandparents, our uncles that are in that age, a lot of times they'll come to us, baby, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. And we ignore that. We go kick it with our homeboys. We go do something else. Or baby, I need to sit down and talk with you. But we don't want to go sit down and talk with mama. You know why? Because she want to talk about wills and testaments and what to do with the house and stuff. But we don't, because I can't imagine you leaving my life, mama. I can't. I don't want to think about that. I don't care about no will. I don't care about no who gonna get this. I don't care about that because I never thought you would leave me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is my grandma. So I kept on ignoring all that stuff, and then when she finally passed away, of course my mind went like, wow. But what helped me cope is that even though they're not physically here with us, they're here with us. I'm telling you, it's be little things. Like you'll be riding in the car and your son, your child may start singing her favorite song. It's little things, right? But they never, ever leave us. But what we need to do while we're here, we need to prepare ourselves to go wherever they're at, right? So that's my thing. That's what helped me out, just to know that she's always here. But you're right. When my grandma passed away, I went through the same thing, man. It messes with you mentally because you never know they're now gone, you know. And now you look at your phone, and those days where you normally would call mama, it's like, wow, I was just about to call mama, but guess what? She's not gonna answer because she's not here, right? So yeah, you go through those things, right? So my thing is, brother, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express yourself, man. And then about being no punk about that at all. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, you know, it's always good to check on your brothers, call you, but have somebody to lean on and talk to them, man. But I understand exactly where you're coming from, brother. But guess what, man? Trouble don't last always, man. And we're trying to do our best to get to where they're at. Right. Yep.
If I could hitchhike on what you're saying, and I can share this with you, because on the 22nd of October, just a few days after my birthday in 1998, Miss Ethel passed. We were getting ready to do a color guard at PTA meeting at LaFleur that night. Charlene, my wife, she called me, she said, Lawrence, she said, Mother Ethel passed. I said, oh, okay. So I went and told Comstock, I'm gonna have to roll, I gotta get to Pensacola, Mom passed today. But to make a long story short, that was the 22nd of October, 1998. To this day, if I'm riding out there in that old red truck, listening to Sirius XM, and all of a sudden Boys to Men come on singing Mama, I'd be crying like a rat eating onion. But the thing is, they're tears of joy.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
right.
I don't have any. When I saw my mother in the coffin, just as when I saw my sister, your mom, and your mom had the prettiest smile on her face. And my mom did, and that's what took me back to my mother. I said, Lord, have mercy. I couldn't even cry when I saw Mama in the casket, you know, because she was smiling because she had gone on home to her God, you know, and that's, as black men, those are the kinds of things that we can teach our children. One day, me and your mama gonna be out of here. So I want you to understand is that when you think of mama and when you think of daddy, I want to raise them in a way that when Boys to Men come on, I have tears of joy. And that's kind of like, you know, the way it is for me. And to this day, you know, if I'm listening to the Williams brothers, you know, Mother bowed and I believe she prayed for me. You know, and as them old folks used to say, which I am now one of.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. And the thing about it is, I believe, I always remember Miss Dempsey lived there on the block there in Pensacola where we grew up. She told me, she called me Pop Chuli. But a real quick story, when I was 2 years old, I couldn't say popsicles, but I could say Pop Chuli. So that was my nickname took forever. But anyway, she said, Chuli, She said the reason that you're doing as well as you're doing now and that you're able to do the things that you're doing is because of those prayers that Miss Herron did that's still carrying y'all through. And I believe that. I believe that. You know, because God's disciples don't die.
What you say? You said something.
And that's what they've become. They have become his disciples. And that's what I hold on to this day.
Right.
When I want to sit around and feel sorry for myself, Negro, please. You better go get your glass of milk and keep on moving. But those are the things that carry you through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that ties into legacy too. Like one of the big things, like as men, when you're growing up, you think about legacy a lot, and it's like, okay, well, what am I leaving for my kids, or anybody that I touch, past me being on this earth. But it's about the moments when you're not here, and the things that you instilled in folks that you're connected to, that makes your impact so profound. So it's like the legacy that, like, my granddad, he died in February, and I just remember like the first words that like sat in my spirit when he passed was legacy. First things. And so I started thinking about all the things that he talked to me about and all the different things that we did and things that were really important to him and why they were important to him. It's like, okay, so even though he's been gone since February, I live with that. With those things. So it's like it's really our obligation and our duty to make sure that we have that type of impact on people that we're connected to.
Exactly.
Because like when we leave here, that's our mark.
That's right.
It's not so much the accomplishments, it's not how much money we made, how much money we left, it's those things.
That's right.
So we have to make sure that we leave with like an impact and a legacy that's worth mentioning and remembering.
Yeah, it's you were talking about the wheels and these kind of things, and it prompted. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Moms Mabley. Moms Mabley was a black female comedian, and Moms said that she wasn't going to leave anybody anything because when she died, she wanted it to be a sad day for everybody. And so conversely to what Sean is saying, that legacy, you leave an enrichment there, and that's what we really have to do. And I know when I think about like my former students or what have you there, in many ways, and as a retired soldier as well, we here at this table benefit from being in the presence of others because they give more to you than you're giving to them. The thing about it is just to not be selfish and give it back. And that's what it's all about. It's kind of like interest on a CD. You start out with $30,000, but a month later you got $500 added to that. But in that same thing in growing and interacting, the interpersonal relationships that we have with each other and what have you, to give that interest, to show that interest. And it's no secret. People know when you care.
That's true.
Because you know when folk don't care about you.
Man, I appreciate, and I think I told you on multiple occasions, like I appreciate like everything that you did and have done for me. Being that kid in your class, it'll be times where I just pop up in your class and you'll be like, "Whoa, what the hell are you doing here? Who class you skipping?" But if you're gonna skip, I'd rather you skip and be here than and those conversations that we had, and you were probably one of the first calls that I made because I was scared to tell my mama that I had signed and joined the army because I didn't know what
I
she.
remember.
and the conversation was like, "Well, did you talk to your mama?" I was like, "No, son, man, I'm scared." He was like, "What the hell are you gonna do in the army then? You scared your mama?"
I do remember that.
and years later to where earlier you were speaking like when I commissioned and you was there to give me my first salute, and it's things like that throughout my lifetime to where we bring it back here today as to when we decided to do this Father's Day, recording, the first person that popped in my mind was you. Because not only have you been a teacher, my mentor, you've been that father to me. Even years after my own father passed away, you stepped there and you always said, you know, whatever you need, I'm always gonna be here for you. And true to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I appreciate that. I'm a part of your legacy.
Yeah.
You know, shit, you said adopted kids. I ain't adopted. Them other jokes.
I use that term loosely, of course.
That's right.
Well, you know, brothers, like, what are some coping mechanisms for y'all? You know, 'cause I know.
I mean, me personally, you know, just hanging out at, you know, cigar lounge has become big for me.
Cause I mean, like, what year is this?
It's the third year.
Third year. So you know, we talked about, you know, deaths, but I mean, y'all went through something that can be strenuous on somebody's mental as well. Opening up a business.
You know, this cigar lounge started way before we actually got brick and mortar. You know, we used to cigar lounges in Tim's garage 7 years before we got our brick and mortar. You know, we used to hang out over there. You know, and you know, the guys just hung out and watched, you know, games, smoked cigars, you know, just played cards, just anything. That was a stress reliever for a lot of us. You know, just getting away from life. You know, and just hanging out with your brothers. You know, that's helpful. You know, because you gotta think about all of everything, your situation that you may be going through. You know, for that brief moment, you know, nothing matters. You know, you free. So, you know, for me, that's helpful.
Am I the only one, man? Like, I can get off work, come through the house, and they just saying, like, as soon as I walk in the door, the wife hit me with stuff. Man, the other day, I in the most nice, harsh way, I was like, hey, I just walked through the door. Give me 5 minutes. You don't want to hear about my day? No, not right now. Give me But I like, man, I think we all do need those stress relievers, man. Like,
Gotta have that break.
I love just walking out the house, sitting on my patio.
Yeah.
I just tell them, baby, just give me 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I can hear about how you didn't want to look through this file. But please,
5 minutes.
that's it.
I think, okay, I post a lot on social media. I post a lot on Facebook, right? And I do a little funny stuff to try to make people laugh a lot, whatever the case may be. But every morning I wake up in the morning, y'all, say my prayers, and then the first thing I wanted to do, what helps me, what truly helps me out as far as my mental, is making people laugh. That my objective is to try to make one person laugh. Because you never know what a person's going through, right? So I'll create content, I'll post stuff on Facebook to try to get laughs, and everybody laughing, they love it, this and that. Because here's the thing, laughter is good for the soul, right? You never ever know what a person's going through. I know we talk about mental health, but everything in life happens for a reason. It's the reason why we're here having this podcast, because it's not only just us 6 or 8, however many here, it's millions of people right there that are watching that need this conversation. For me saying that, I want to make somebody laugh. A girl hit me up on my inbox one day. She said, Brandon, you and your son posted a video of Alabama lost, right? So of course I'm Auburn fan, so I did a fake funeral and y'all can go watch it. Follow me on Facebook. I did a fake funeral, and a girl inboxed me. She said, Brandon, she said, I had deactivated my account. I was going through some mental stuff. I was ready to end it all. She said that, and she said just like this, she said that video brought me out the miry clay or something like that. She said I was on the verge of just ending it all. But she said it was so funny. I laughed and I needed that joy. Y'all, that right there, I had chills coming on my body. And people hit me up all the time. Oh my God, it's you know, you made me laugh. It made my day. But that's what we should try to do. Even though we're going through our own mental stuff, somebody got it way worse than what we got it. So sometimes you have to stop, and sometimes you have to see the good in people, right? There's a lot of times where, speaking of mental, you never know what a person's going through, right? We as men, we get somebody coming up to us or talking this noise and this and that, we want to fight. No, that's why I tell people, say always see the good in people, don't just stop and listen, because you never know what that other person's going through, right? So that's my thing, y'all. See what somebody else is going through, because somebody else got it way worse than what we got it going, you know, and that's what has helped me out, trying to make people laugh and bring joy to people. So, you know.
Yep, that's what it's about.
Y'all good?
I mean, for me, I just want to get away from responsibility. It's kind of like, the scenario you just brought up, man. When you hit the house, like, everybody needs you. And really start before you get the house. House. Like, they start calling you. Like, they be like, it's 4:30.
That's why I be late going to work, so I be late leaving. Because don't call me right when you know I'm finna clock out either. Then I be ready to come home.
Hey, sometimes 3 minutes at the garage before you walk in the house.
But another way to handle that is, I found that out, especially when I was on active duty. You come in and you've got 400 or 500 people that are at your beck and call. Whatever you say do, as a first sergeant, as I was a sergeant major, I say jump, they say hi. You get home, the rules change. You can't even get your child to brush their teeth sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Not literally, but my point is what I started doing back as a young soldier. When I came in, I made this assumption that if my wife or one of my children needed me as soon as I walked through the door, okay, that's what I'm going to step to. Because they are apparently needing the strength that they perceive that I have to do that. Because if I'm that damn strong, I can always hug, kiss, take care of them, and take care of my DA later. And the D stand for done.
See, it's things like that.
Yeah.
'Cause here we over here complaining.
For real.
And he's like, well, shit, I'm strong. They need me. That's why. But that, like, some reason, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like,
I know it's hard sometimes.
Shit, is it?
Yeah, but the thing about it is you have to move past that, because we're talking about what black men need to be doing in terms of being the village chief instead of the village idiot. And there's a difference between one dichotomy and the other, but the thing about it is that's where you get your measure. That's why when you think about your pops, you see strength. When you think about your mom, you feel love. That's because they took the time to make sure that they put that there. Even when they didn't feel like it. Hell, I know now sometimes I don't feel like doing the floors, but that's my job. I can say, hell, I used to be a sergeant major in the Army. I ain't cleaned no floor. Okay, well, how the hell is it gonna get clean? They ain't self-cleaning. But the strength is, you be a good partner. Be a good partner. Be a great listener. And the thing about listening that I found out, it don't cost you nothing. It really, and especially under your own roof, it costs absolutely nothing.
Especially with kids, so a lot of times everybody at this table always asks the kid, "How was your day? How was your day?" I think what has helped me, man, especially just to as a parent, to ask better questions. Okay, what you didn't like about your day, right? And it opens their mind up to now talk with you and tell you what they didn't like. We're always asking, "Did you have a good day?" So I think open up, questions like that expands their mind, and you can get a little bit more nuggets you may need to, continue to.
My baby girl, man, she is good at that. I pick her up from school, and I'm like, well, "How was your day today?" "Good." "Well, what was so good about it?" "I don't know, Dad, it was just good." I'm like, "But it was your day, so tell me what made it so good." And then she goes in describing, and she'll say something like, "Oh, we was in class, and somebody had farted or something like that. I'm like, was it you? Man, that started a whole different
conversation.
That's right.
But yeah, you're right. You got to ask those questions, like, because sometimes like those just generic answers,
Right.
or the way we ask.
That's right.
There's the way it get answered.
That's how it's gonna get
Exactly.
answered. You know. So yeah, I definitely try to take that on, and I try to do that every chance I get with the kids, and just, you know, trying to start conversation and having those conversations, because, like, I mean, I know for me, coming through, coming up, and it was hard having those conversations with my dad. You know, I still think me and my dad relationship didn't get better until I graduated, because we're two alpha males trying to be in one household.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I graduated, and then I think that's probably like one of the first times I heard my dad tell me he loved me and was proud of me. You know, and it came frequently after that. I guess because, you know, it's like I said, both of us feel like, hey, we two alpha males in this household, somebody gotta give. I wasn't making no money to support my mama, so I'm gone. But I do find myself now with having my own kids, you know, making sure that they know that they can come and talk to me about
Yeah.
I think
things.
that's important.
And even still, like, I tell them and they know, as soon as something happens, who they gonna run to? Mom. And she gonna come back and she gonna tell me.
Yeah.
And then I go handle the situation. Oh, Dad, thank you so much. Hey, you should have came and talked to me. But the fact that you know, you are going and talking to somebody instead of trying to do this on your own. I don't expect for my 17-year-old daughter to know how to go out and change the battery in a car, change the tire. But you do need to know how to call USAA
To come change it for
and
you.
press 4 to get, you know, to put in your policy number and have roadside. You know, I want you to know these things, you know, and I still remember the conversation my dad had, you know, before he passed away. Yeah, he always called me Big Whoop. I'm not gonna be here forever. And when I leave, I need you to step up and be that man. And you know, and I had the same conversation with my son. Hey man, one day I ain't gonna be around. I need you to know what you need to do and make sure the family still goes on. Did I want that responsibility when he passed away? No, I didn't. And sometimes I sit down like, damn, what am I gonna do? Cause I think when my dad passed, when he passed, I probably was like 25, 26.
Yeah, mine passed at 20, but it made you who you are now.
Yeah.
You got that right. Real
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
You got that right.
I mean, hey, and I had friends to lean on then, just like I do now, and mentors to lean on. So you're right. Go through the things that I went through then and made me the person I am now.
That's right.
It made me help to establish my legacy. Because it came up so much today. And I think at the end of the day, we all want to leave a legacy behind.
That those that you leave here are proud of.
That's right. That's right.
Because it brings to mind another, I think it was Richard Pryor said his mama told him to never say nothing. You know, if you can't say something good about somebody, don't say anything at all. And this person had died. They said, oh, well, he's dead. Good. So,
Well, brothers, anything else y'all want to say before we close out today?
Nah, man, I think this is a much needed episode.
Oh, yeah.
I had a very good time today, man. Yeah, very good time. Food good, conversation
Oh yeah.
good.
Good time.
I appreciate the invite.
I do, man. I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all so much,
Thank
man.
y'all. Thank
Truly
y'all
do.
for accepting the invite to come. So I made you know, it's always my pleasure. You know,
Same here, you
just
know.
to have you pick up the phone when I call.
Well, I'm gonna do that when I look down and see Woo Man. I got to do that. That's what it is.
Brandon, hey, first time meeting you, man.
Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Definitely good to meet
Oh
you,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Good times.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, what you got anything, bro?
Nah, man, appreciate our guest today. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, Whiskey and Sticks After Dark. Wooisms podcast also, and that's gonna be on all social media channels. But just keep up with us. We got more coming down the pipe.
All righty then.
Man, look, once again, we appreciate Tim, man, for the hosting our event today. Maybe we'll shoot a blooper out. We also want to thank Terry from Miss Terry's Events for the awesome spread and the drinks today. If y'all haven't been to a second line event and was hosted by me, you're missing out on some good food. She does not fail. To the good brothers of El Jefe, House of Cigars, appreciate y'all. My brothers, Wooisms, appreciate you guys. And to our guests, once again, thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
All right.